Go team!
Go team!
Hey guys, just going to give you another update for things that are going on in ESSU and in the hospital. Just so you guys know, currently there's about 101 COVID positive patients in the hospital. About 69 are on the med-surg floors. The rest are in like the critical care areas. If you're interested in vaccines, they're still available. You can get them Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Through the My Wellness Center. All right, so definitely for those that are interested, make sure you try to go get your vaccines. It's an important part of fighting this battle and getting back to some type of normalcy. All right. As you know, we are off of 3 North. We are currently on CSSU. For those that remember, that's our original home unit. So just, I don't know if it's permanent, but nonetheless, I'm sure a lot of us are happy to be there. For the most part, cardiology has usually between 3 to 5 beds that they reserve for the cath patients. And then we usually take from spots 6 through 15 normally. There is a new call bell system in ESSU. For those who have been in ESSU 1, there's a call bell system. So each room has a call bell, that you can pretty much talk through the intercom to talk to your patients and see what's going on. So it's definitely a step up in the right direction. So if you haven't seen it, make sure you take a quick peek at it. It's pretty self-explanatory, but for the most part, you can figure it out. Employee reviews. It's basically that time of year. For those who have been with us, this is a yearly evaluation of each employee. For those of you who haven't sat down with a leader yet, just make sure you do your self-evaluation. You can find it on the My Experience portal. So, the same way that you go find your paychecks through My Experience, there's something called Career and Performance. You click on that and you can do your self-evaluation. And it's good to fill out, rate yourself. And regardless, before we even do your evaluation, you have to have that completed. All right. There will be a State of the Union / open forum for ESSU on April 19th. That's a Monday at 7 p.m. That'll be over Zoom. So basically, just for me to give you some more updates about the unit, but also to hear from you guys. If you have any questions, feedback, stuff like that, you guys can join 7 p.m. Monday. It's April 19th. Okay. I'll send out the link and more instructions later. Vacations are coming up. As summer is around the corner, which I think we all welcome. So make sure you guys submit your vacation requests so then we can start to process those. Another cool thing that the hospital is doing is something called Success Pays. I sent out an email about certifications that the hospital would be willing to pay for you guys to take your certifications if it pertains to the area that you work in. So for more information, you can ask Kathy Logan the next time you see her, or take a look at the emails that were sent out. There's been a lot of things that are going on. I know a lot of changes. A lot of things are happening in people's lives. I just want to reiterate the fact that the hospital and the organization has employee assistance programs, and there's people for you guys to talk to in case you guys are struggling in any capacity, and you just want to hear any type of resources. Just reach out and we can get you those resources. Sometimes it's hard to know what's going on if you don't ask for help. So just want to make sure you guys understand that. The last thing, I sent an email about professionalism, and I'm really big on that. So COVID, among a lot of things, we did a lot of things for this, the sake of the patient. But as we're going back to some type of normalcy, we have to set our expectations back. I don't want any bad habits to carry over. And I think you guys understand what I mean by that. You shouldn't be taking any shortcuts. You should be scanning your meds in the room. Um, and there's a lot of expectations that we have, as we go back to quote unquote normal. I know that's asking for a lot, but at the same time, it is the right thing to do. So I sent an email about a lot of things. First, it was about documentation. Make sure when your patient comes in ESSU, you take a full set of vitals. You under the comment section, you write that the patient arrived to ESSU 1 or 2 or 3. If they were there for more than 4 hours, you have to do a full head-to-toe assessment. If they weren't there for for a long time, we asked you to do a focused assessment. So, for example, if they came in for abdominal pain, then you're gonna at least assess bowel sounds and check, to see that they're okay with pain management. You have to focus it on what the patient's there for. CPGs, your clinical practice guidelines, that should be open for all your patients. Minimum 2 relating to that patient's diagnosis. That's under the plan of care. Patient profiles, they haven't gone away, and the patient profile is a document that feeds into many other different things for that patient's chart. It's a way that the hospital also, you know, uh, does consults and does reimbursement from insurances. So, the first the patient profile has to be done within the first 24 hours. So if you have a patient come through, and you have to hand off to the next nurse whether that patient profile is being done or not. And it has to be a team nursing. That's the only way we can kind of get through uh, uh, nursing in general. Your documentation has to tell a story. Um, it's not just click, 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 click. Think about the patient and why they're there, and does your documentation tell a story? Because reality is, 2 years from now, you might not remember this patient, but your documentation, if it's good, you'll know exactly who this patient is, how they look like in your mind. You know, when you're in a med surg floor like CSSU, head to toes, CPGs, plans of cares, everything has to be filled out. We don't want you to just follow someone else's documentation. You have to think critically. You have to, own your documentation. Because if there's something that you don't agree with, that's an important part. Everybody should be assessing skin. That is a big part of nursing, especially in ESSUs. If a patient comes over and you need to check their skin to see if they have any breakdown, whether it's a community acquired, because when they go to the floors, if we didn't document something, it could be unit acquired, and we don't want the hospital or our unit to get dinged for something that the patient already had. So just make sure you guys are aware of that. There are some skin classes and wound care classes that we want to start to send you to once they become available, as most classes are virtual. So definitely for the newer staff, I want you to start thinking like that. And if you don't know something, ask a colleague, ask a friend, ask a functional, an A&M, because that's the only way you'll learn. Your work area, ESSU and CSSU, you should clean up after yourself. If you make a mess, you should throw out the mess before the end of your shift. Same thing with CSSU. Take pride in owning that. Especially if we're there for a little bit, we don't know, obviously, but as a small unit, we're able to take care of that pretty well. IV tubings, make sure they're labeled. Your IV fluids, make sure they're labeled. Urinals should be labeled with the date. There's a lot of things that we have to get back into the routine. And I know it's hard and difficult with everything that we've been through, but at the same time, thankfully, we're not there right now, And if there's something that, is pressing you, or you need something to talk to me about, take me aside and talk to me. My door is always open for you guys. My phone is always open for you guys. You can call me, text me anytime, any day, email me. I'm always accessible to you guys. And I think majority of you guys know that. But I want you guys to now take the next level as a nurse, right? I say this all the time when I talk to you guys individually. I don't want good nurses in ESSU. I can get a good nurse off the street, honestly. I want to have great nurses. And how do I get great nurses? The good nurses have to become better, right? So all of you guys just have to get stronger and better. And that comes over time, that comes with experience, but you have to have the desire to be a great nurse because, a few years from now, I want you guys to look back at your experience in ESSU and say, this is what has made you strong, to be a strong nurse that can go anywhere. All right. Really important stuff. Last couple of things with professionalism. Sick time. Be aware of the number of calls outs that you have in a given period of time. We're starting to look at those things. Lateness. You have to be on time. It's unfair to your coworkers if you are late. So be aware that as much as COVID might have taken a lot out of you, these are experiences that will obviously make you stronger. And unfortunately, I want to give you guys an outlet to, verbalize that, So there will be more outings as a group. There'll be more activities for us, especially as the weather gets warmer. Hoping that can also help us form our bond that we've always had within ESSU. There's been a lot of patients that have been difficult. And I just want to thank you guys for just maintaining professionalism. Just always remember to be safe. Don't skip steps. Don't take the easy shortcuts. It might be easy, but it will mess you up in the long run. And in fact, it might actually harm a patient, which will probably be the worst case scenario, or in fact, harm yourself. So just make sure you guys do it the right way. Work with integrity. You all have it. That's why you're here in ESSU. Other than that, love you guys. Talk to you guys soon.